How's it going today, YouTube? This is Joseph here once again, and I'm on the interstate heading over to my buddy Michael's house because today we're going to do attempting a repair on my New Yorker. As I've mentioned in previous videos, the Nymon sun gear that rotates.
Take exit 83 toward Pitfall Hills Parkway.
It rotates the pop-up headlight covers has stripped. So I'm going to see if me and him can get that changed today. And I haven't seen any other videos on YouTube as of yet on how to change that. So I thought I'd do you all a favor and upload this video, given that we get everything fixed properly. So I've got the aftermarket part right here. It's made of metal, so it should last a whole lot longer than the original plastic one. And we'll just go ahead and see how things go. So we'll see you guys in a couple of minutes when we go over to Mr. Michael's house. Alrighty guys, we're over here at Mr. Michael's house. I got the engine compartment open. He's grabbing his toolbox, and we're gonna start wrenching here in just a second. He's jogging his memory at the moment to try and figure out, you know, what all we're gonna have to do to get this apart, but we'll figure it out, right?
Oh yes.
I'm just glad that we're able to do it in this cooler weather. My gosh, it was so hot for so long.
Well, it's good timing, you know?
Yeah.
It's good timing.
I don't know if you noticed my little redneck fix for the extension bottle. The original screw thing come apart on it, and a friend of mine down in Cersei just tied it down with some twisty ties. But it's been holding fine ever since. But I was reading on my Chrysler foreman, they're saying that this grill is going to have to come on.
Right.
So we just got to figure out how does this hook in?
So that's what I'm gonna get. I have a variety of lights. This is an old light I had for, oh man, over 30 years.
Uh-huh.
And it's an AC light, but it's like a 15-watt bulb.
Boy, that, I'm just now looking at that. That looks pretty rough. Just that cover, it just looks kind of rough to me. But
It's like a cloth wrap, which is fine.
okay.
Yeah, it looks like maybe a cloth electrical tape that they put on there.
Okay.
That's what they've got right here.
Yeah. It's just showing its age. And there's bolts right here, but I don't know if that's the drill.
I think I don't want to have to pull this.
Fascia off.
Yeah.
We don't have to. Here, I can raise the lenses for a moment.
Right.
So don't go up now. It's about as far as I can get her to rake up, but. This might be the one snag in the road, is just getting this grill off.
Right. Because that gear is like right there.
Mm-hmm. Alright guys, we'll catch up with you when we figure out how to get this grill off.
Oh, your lights are on.
Yeah, I know.
But it will.
It will give eventually.
Yeah. It's the kind that expands, but they have little like wings on them.
Yeah, the little clamp. Yeah, wing clamp. I know what you're talking about now.
Yes.
I mean, you know, if I had taken this to a regular mechanic shop, they probably wouldn't have had no idea how to do this.
Right. Yep.
Now we're dealing with fragile plastic.
Yeah. If I can get behind it.
Could it be that we could go up underneath and pop
Yeah,
it?
let me do this. Yeah, it's got 4 ears. There's 2 up there, 2 down there.
Oh, I feel them now. Those little...
Yeah.
Yeah, they're like little butterfly ears.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so there's 4 little butterfly ears on the underneath or on the back end.
So when we get it off,
It'll pop right off.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes a lot more sense. See, I was thinking that chrome bezel was going to have to come off. There it goes. Okay.
Show that to them.
Okay. So there's these little ears that pop loose, and that's made of metal. Lee Iacocca was a genius when they, or the designers of this were a genius. They didn't use plastic.
Yes.
There we go. That's proper engineering right there.
Yes.
Okay, let's take a look at what we're seeing inside here now. This is what really plays the ticket.
So I'm gonna get this out of the way. This is a
Ooh, you okay?
oh yeah.
It bit you, didn't it?
Yeah, it did. Alright, so
Here, let me get you some napkins.
no, I'm good.
Okay, okay.
I've got
You got a towel?
yeah.
Okay.
You see that roll over there?
Uh-huh.
A friend of mine gave me that. It's cloth. It's not paper. He gave me 2 rolls.
Wow.
And I gave 1 to the club.
But see, now that we're doing this first time, not only am I going to be able to upload this to YouTube for other C and Y body platform New Yorker owners, but I'll know how to do this.
Hopefully you don't have to do it for quite a while.
Yeah, hopefully not. I mean, the first one lasted 30 years, so it might outlive the vehicle.
Alright, so we have a little, we're going to get this out of the way.
There's a little bolt.
That's outside temperature.
Oh, my outside temperature gauge. The little thermostat
Yeah.
show in the EVIT center.
Yes.
Okay, so that's where that's at if I ever have to change that out. Okay, that's going to help people out. So if you've got a bad temperature gauge in the overhead console, there's that little thermostat or thermometer that tells the car what the temperature is outside. So that's handy to know where that's at. Now finding that part might be a different story.
Alright, we're going to take this cover off. Looks like we have good old Phillips. I may have to get a Band-Aid. Never fails, how it usually.
Every car likes to take a little bit of a souvenir home with it, it
Oh,
seems
yeah.
like, when they get worked on. I mean, this car bit the owners at Midas every time I took it into the shop at Midas. One of the guys always walked away with a cut.
Really?
Yep, they said there was sharp edges somewhere on it, whenever they worked on it. It's just kind of like, huh. But they had to change the radiator, so that's why.
Right.
There's sharp edges in there. So he's unscrewing
It's a cover.
a cover for the motor.
Yep.
Change angles.
2 Phillips head screws.
You don't want to lose those screws.
No. Believe me, Joseph, I've got plenty.
Okay.
There's one.
Now I had been, you know, it's interesting. I'm looking at the design of this motor assembly, and it reminds me of the design that was on the older Imperials, now that I look at it, like from the 60s.
Right.
Because the 60s Imperials did the same thing. They had a center track and two, like, pinion rods on the sides. Okay, here's number 2.
Okay. It does have a seal. So,
Look at that glue in there. It's just completely rotted out. That's nasty.
let's see what we're gonna need to do. I'm gonna have to go get a Band-Aid.
Yeah, go ahead and do that.
The gear of the failure is actually in the see, there's what's left of those little round things.
Yeah, the little epoxy glue pieces. I mean, they're just nasty. They just fall apart.
Yeah. I'm not sure, Joseph, if they're made of nylon or I mean, it's all kind of plastic, you know?
Yeah.
Alright, let's do a little thinking here. Do a little thinking.
You're good.
So what we may have to do, we may have to unbuckle.
The rods.
Yeah.
That's just a little seal cover, isn't it? You just unhook.
Yes. Yeah. We have to take it out and slide the rod out of the motor. Then we're gonna have to take the motor off.
Yeah, and then we'll see how much damage is done to the gear itself.
Alright, so let's I think the gear is actually pretty good. It's the little those little bullet things in there that are
The little,
gone bad.
yeah. The little glue sticks is what you call them.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Well, and also, looking at this, there's like a mesh that goes around it. Look, you see this mesh? There's like
Yes.
this mesh, and that's just completely gone. That seal is just completely gone. In the old one.
I'm trying to remember. That's a different design, I think. Yeah.
Okay.
That only has 2 screws. See it?
Yeah.
And this has
3.
yes.
Okay, so that may not be needed. That might be for a different version. That might be for the
Right.
92, 93 model.
Right.
Because they made this kit to be compatible with every generation flip lightning workers.
All right. It's not a quarter inch. Yeah, it is.
It's a 1/4 inch.
Yes. The other was 5/16 that we took off of there.
That's not very big.
No.
That's tiny.
All right. So what we got to do right now? You turned on the lights, right?
I turned them on for a moment and turned them back off, but I can turn them on again.
No. So right now they're supposed to be relaxed.
Yes, and they're supposed to be all the way down.
Okay.
Supposed to be sealed.
Okay. This spring right here, and we'll probably have to. That's what pulls them up. Okay.
Oh, that's slipped.
Well, there's a sleeve
Yeah.
that keeps it. It's a spacer. Is what it is.
Simple stuff.
Yes. So you have the lights. See, the motor right now is in the down position.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if it ever loses track again, just take that cover off and adjust the sleeve spring. Would be a good idea to do, I guess. So you're taking one of the rod clamps off.
Yes. I will say the kind of the technology of the time, the rod just lays down in that slot. So here's the screw.
I'm just glad to see that they used so many metal parts in this thing. That was my biggest concern, was how much broken plastic were we going to find behind that grill?
Right. Yeah.
Because, I mean, you know, I mentioned about the transmission brackets in the past, and, you know, you dealt with that with your Mopars, too. So.
Yes. Okay.
You need me to hold a light or do anything else? Just let me know.
Okay.
I'm just trying not to get in your way because you're doctor right now. That was the connector for the motor, wasn't it?
Yes. Yes. So everything is down right now.
Yeah, at rest.
The lenses are closed. Not the lenses, the covers.
Yeah.
And so what we're going to have to make sure of is that we kind of time it, if you know what I'm saying.
Right, keep things in setting.
Mm-hmm.
Because otherwise it's going to be a pain to get them reconfigured.
Yes.
Doable, but it will be a pain.
Right. I remember right. That's the one you can spin. See there? I can spin it. There's a knob on the bottom of it.
Right.
All right.
That's the calibration
Kind of, yeah.
thing for the motor. The stopper or whatever.
Uh-huh.
There it goes.
Probably gonna need to relax this spring a little.
Yeah, they were saying on the Chrysler forum that you need to relax that spring a little bit before you take it off, otherwise it's going to go pow. Oops. As long as we know how to hook that back up, we're good. But that's so much easier to do than, say, a Lincoln or something. Oh my gosh, with all the vacuum lines and stuff.
Yes.
Lord of mercy, that would be terrible.
Okay. What I'm trying to do is
Get it out.
yeah. Alright, I'm gonna sit down here a minute.
Yep, you're good.
See how we're gonna do this.
I'm just trying to keep your light out of your way. It may have to go through one of the light assemblies.
I know what I'm gonna have to do. I'm gonna have to loosen the motor. If I can get it turned,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I mean?
And then the rod will come out.
Yes.
Okay. Oops, sorry.
Excuse me.
You're good. I'm just trying to keep you.
There it came.
Ooh, that's nasty.
Yeah. Alright.
Now there's where the plastic is that we need to make sure we don't lose. Those two little
Alright.
couplers.
Alright, so this,
Here's the spring holder.
yep.
Man, this is a little more complicated than
Not
some
really.
systems.
Not really.
There it goes. And then there's the gear.
Alright, so get me the new gear.
Okay. We'll look at the difference. Hopefully it's the same size.
Yes.
Here's the new gear.
Okay.
Might be a little bit more rigid because it's got more gear teeth on it, but
Uh-huh.
oh yeah, I can tell a difference already. That's a lot more sturdy.
Right.
So okay, we removed this rod and then we were able to slide the gear out. And that rod, the gear is in the center. Let me get my fingers. The gear is in the center and there is a spring on the left-hand side with a slider spacer, the gear assembly on the inside that holds the lens covers down and moves them up or down with the motor. And so we had to relieve the spring tension and change the center sun gear, which is the problematic part, I'm pretty sure, because it was just slippery.
We might have a little problem here.
Uh-oh.
I think our piece. Wow. It's different. We're gonna have to go back with this for now. We gave that's totally different. See it?
Yeah. But do you think this one is still good enough to track it?
It'll work for now. I mean, it's got little teeth in it, but it's gonna have to work for now.
No, that's fine. I want to get this to where it'll go up and down like it's supposed to.
Right.
I mean, even if it isn't as good as the new gear, I'll just have to keep looking for a replacement. So this gear
That is a different gear.
okay.
In fact, it might be. Let me get it back out. See, something's different here too. That
Does this centerpiece come out?
no.
No.
See, there's a big difference.
There's a gap.
Yes. Okay. So
Well, that's the only company that makes gears for these cars anymore.
really,
Yeah.
let me got my hands. So what we're gonna do, I think you may need to know this. I have some calipers. Let me go get them.
Okay.
So, get your filming out because we need to
Measure the difference.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so we ran into an issue, like he's been saying. This is the gray is the new gear, the white is the old.
So in thousandths, this is 2 inches and 125. So that means it's 2 inches and 1/8. Okay. This one is almost 300.
Okay.
So there's probably 1/16 of an inch difference.
Okay. All right.
Yep.
Too big?
Yeah. It's you can also see the difference there.
Yeah.
Uh-huh, it's thicker. All right, so we're gonna put this back in.
All right. Well, if it's the glue that's been the issue, I mean, if we put the new epoxy in there and it works, then,
Yeah.
you know, that epoxy lasted for what, 30 years?
Yes.
But that's all you did, you just changed the epoxy,
I
right?
changed the little bullet, I call them bullets or...
Glue sticks.
Yes. They look like glue sticks for sure.
Okay.
That grease is held up very well.
Yeah, I'm impressed with that. At least for the gear part, it's held really
Right.
nicely. Well, that was worth a shot. You know, if you win some, you lose some. But
Yes.
at least now I know how to get it out if I can
Yes.
find one that's a replacement.
Yes. All right. So.
Now it's just reverse fashion after we get the glue sticks down.
Yes, exactly. Sorry about the bloodbath.
Yeah, you're fine.
Well,
We're working on the farm.
I'm glad that grill came out like it did.
That's genius, honestly.
Well, it's thinking of any repair that has to be done, and you think about it. During assembly at the plant, they don't have any screws. All they do is walk up.
Snap it in.
Yes.
And it's on.
Yes. Exactly.
Which is genius.
Yes.
And I just for sake, I guess it's a bolt that holds the Pentastar on the grill. Because I mean, I know there's a spring. Oh, it's held on.
It's like a wire, and there's a cup on the end of it,
Yeah.
and then there's a spring. That's why you can
Wiggle it. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I just was curious because if that ever messes up, I'd like to know
Yes.
how to fix it.
Yes.
Okay.
All right. So
Another learning curve there. Just kind of sidetracked, but I had to look.
that's okay.
I'm just kind of learning about the cars that go along.
So this will.
It's a little seal.
Yes. It is kind of a simple design. Yeah, it is.
It's something that's not that easy to, you know, Mickey up. As
Yeah.
my grandfather would say.
Yeah. I'm surprised that grease is lasting as long as it is. But
Fresh.
well, I didn't want to take out what's already in there, so just put a little bit around where the metal room gear is. I'm not going to put any grease on the little, like a little bit on the round glue sticks, if you want to call it that.
Yeah. Because I mean, that's what they look like.
Yes, exactly. Okay. My friend gave me that roll.
Mm-hmm.
It came. There was some kind of plant in Rogers that shut down, but they used to make. It's kind of a similar material that goes in diapers.
Well, if it works.
But he builds his own airplanes.
Huh.
He does.
So kit aircraft, huh?
He buys parts from this airplane and this airplane, and he actually sometimes even builds his own wings and stuff like that.
Experimental.
Yes.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yes. So, you want to get those round bullets?
Yep.
Yeah, let's,
Now, where's those at? They're right here. There you go.
okay. So what I did, I put a little grease right in those pockets.
Right.
and that should hold them.
And then they just go in those little slots.
Yes.
And see, the other ones were completely gone. Like when we opened it up, they just fell right out.
Oh, they gave you some gear grease.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Just in case we needed it. Well, with that new gear, you're going to need it anyway, so.
Yeah, but the old one still had.
Plenty.
Yes. All right. Now we get to.
It could be a combination of a number of things. Number one, the little bullets warped out. Number two, the spring that holds the lenses down slipped.
Right.
And it was probably just putting a whole strain on the entire system.
Yes.
Let me know if you need me to hold anything.
Okay.
And that goes back in there.
Yep. Now what I'm gonna do. This is kind of the timing part of it.
Yeah, getting things properly seated.
Yes. Okay.
Getting everything back in alignment, so to speak.
Yes.
I'm hoping that us taking that gear out didn't open a can of worms.
No, I don't think so. I don't think so.
I can just imagine the people at these modern shops, if I had taken this in, they probably would have been scratching their heads.
Well, I think I know what they have done, what they would have done, Joseph. They'd have said, we just need to get a whole new motor. You know what I mean?
And they don't make those anymore.
Right.
the spring and
Yeah.
all that other stuff.
Yeah. Good old plastic.
Yeah.
It's kind of cracked on the end here.
But as long as it holds, that's all that matters.
Yes.
And I can go to a junkyard and get a cover off of another one of those real simple now that you've shown me how it comes off.
Now, I would suggest if you go to a junkyard, just get the whole motor.
Yeah, just pull the whole thing out.
Yes. But now you know how to do it.
Yep. Got it on film.
Well, have you looked online?
There's no other videos or anything online.
I mean, but have you looked and see if there's like eBay, somebody has this motor?
Yeah, but no, they don't have anything, parts for these cars, like, accessory pieces are
Yes.
nearly impossible to come by these days.
You'll have to find one in a wrecking yard then.
Yeah. Possibly call a junkyard and say, hey, I've got one that needs this. Please pull it from the car. And I'll pay you to ship it to me.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's a good thing that we compared the gear.
Yeah. Because now I can contact the seller and say, hey, check this video out. You'll see there's a bit of a difference here on the 88 through 91 New Yorker Fifth Avenues.
Yes.
And who knows, if he makes another one, because he's in the business to do these, he might send me one.
Right.
That's been resized.
Alright, we've got our little clamps back on. We'll put our screws on in a minute.
Tiny little screws.
Yeah. Little sheet metal screws is what they are. I will say, they were thinking of the one having to repair this sometime in the future when they designed it.
Oh, compared to like the Lincoln Continentals and stuff? Oh my
Yes.
gosh.
Yes.
I mean, I've looked at some of the schematics for like the 74 Mark V's, and they have so many vacuum hoses, it's ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to fish through those wires and hoses just to see where the leak is.
Uh-huh.
I've said it once, I've said it before, the trademark that they had for these cars in the day, Vintage Chrysler, it literally lives up to that name so many times.
Yes.
The more and more I look at this car, the more and more it just shows that they were built to last.
They were also built to repair, too.
Yeah.
You know?
It does kind of jog your memory, I guess.
Yeah, it does.
May or may not ever have to do another one, but hey, at least if you do, you know how to do it again all the way
Yes.
through.
Yes.
And this video will be helpful for probably hundreds, if not thousands, of other New Yorker Fifth Avenue owners that are on Facebook.
Well, we got to be realistic, Joseph. There may be just a couple hundred that want to do it themselves.
Yeah.
Okay. The spring is back on.
Connector needs to be hooked back.
Yep.
And there's a temperature sensor. Let's keep a little
Yeah.
thermostatic temperature. I'm just hoping that this is all it needed was the little bullets, as you call them.
Take my word. That's all it needed. All right.
Those bullets
we
by
put the-
themselves,
Huh?
$4 for the bullets themselves, and one $30 for that sun gear.
Yeah.
So it came out to about $40.
Go work it.
Okay. Let's back it up and we'll show the.
Before we put the grill back in.
Yeah, that way if we need to calibrate the spring or anything. Dong.
Good watch.
Oh my God, is that really all it took? Let's put some WD-40 on that spring so that it doesn't get too tight. Because you know like the garage door openers? The
Yeah.
spring that goes overhead as it tightens and loosens.
Right.
I've seen those springs snap from lack of lubrication. So it might be good to kind of oil that, because I can hear it tinking in there.
Well, it's doing a little tinking right here where it pivots on that it's on that arm.
Mm-hmm.
So let me
It's just a thought,
right.
so that it doesn't snap anything.
Right.
Because I'm going to be using this thing a lot on the road.
Right.
It's my daily. So. And with wintertime coming in, lights are going to be needed a lot more.
Now, this thing is exposed to the elements, so
It's just a.
try it.
This is kind of a thing for me.
Keep doing that.
There we go. That's quiet. Well,
I've got my hand on it.
see, it's supposed to be quiet.
Yeah. I'm thinking.
I mean, it's a minor thing, but it's like, when you hear something making noise, something isn't like happy with it.
Right.
Yeah, it's funny. I saw that sticking out on the hole when I opened the hood the first time. I'm like, what in the world is that little piece of metal doing sticking through that hole? And it's
Alright, so I'm gonna try a little. It's just that it's on a metal. It's metal to metal,
yeah.
and it's popping on that inside that hole. So I'll put a little grease on it.
And that might help.
Now I'll try it.
It may just be the way it is.
I think so.
And it's snug now, so it's doing what it would have done from the factory potentially.
Well, did you notice we didn't have to do any timing or anything?
I know, it just kind of snapped back together, which is incredible.
Yeah.
The only thing, well, really the only timing we had to program was the covers. The covers were not set properly.
Right.
And that was what was causing it to make that horrible clunk, clunk noise prior.
Okay.
That's pretty easy.
Yeah.
Hopefully those little bullets lasted a long time.
Well, my glue sticks usually would last about maybe. It was glue sticks.
Yeah.
Maybe a year.
Ooh. These are like rubber,
Right.
so they may last a little bit longer than that.
Yeah, I think it's a higher quality.
So in the future, I won't have to take the whole rod out. I'll just have to slide that cover off and put new little bullets in. And it should, as long as that gear doesn't strip out, it should be fine. You just
Yeah.
recoat it with grease whenever it needs
Yes.
new bullets.
Yeah. But you're definitely going to have to get.
A new sun gear.
Yeah.
At some
And
point.
I would say for the next time,
Yeah.
or keep an eye out for another motor.
Yeah. Okay.
But the motor sounds good.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Now, this is unrelated, but this may be a project that I'm going to have to do. I'm thinking either my radio guy, if my radio guy doesn't want to tackle it, this power antenna. I guess it just, the cover has to come off and then it'll come out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What you have to do, there's probably a mounting bracket down there, but you have to get like a pair of pliers or something. This collar right here,
Mm-hmm.
it twists off. It's threaded.
Right. And then it'll come out, basically.
Yeah, and that's kind of like a gasket right there. It's kind of a grommet.
Okay.
And you can see that it's tapered for the fender.
Yeah. So, okay. Well, this is excellent.
You install the grill.
Okay.
Now, we could do this. We could get a little, this is what I want to do.
Just grease those little foot things.
Yeah.
And it should just simply just click and go back in place.
Yes. And it'll probably ease if you ever have to pull them out again. You know what I mean?
And what did you use to just loosen them, like a pair of needle nose pliers? Or what did you use to pop them out?
Well, you just push them.
Push them?
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't know.
I
if you
just
used-
pushed on the grill.
Okay.
The grill is plastic,
Yeah.
but these little,
That in my opinion is like, oh my gosh, Chrysler, I can't believe they actually did the way that they did. Used metal for those little, you know, book-like clamps. So many companies I've seen skimp them.
so that's the bottom. Am I correct? Alright, so you see that?
Yeah.
It goes in there. There's a post
Right.
right there, dead center. So what you find, say, you just tap it. That's it.
All right. Awesome.
Look at there. Didn't make a mess, and I left no blood on there for you. How about that?
Well, that was easier than I expected it would be.
Yeah. And once I got revisited it, I you know, it all comes back. It does.
Okay. Well, yep, make sure I get that. We'll just put that in the little bag here.
Yeah.
But
I'm glad that we measured it. 'Cause
Yeah.
now you know the difference.
yep,
It's definitely different.
yes, it is. So
So here's the fruits of my effort.
Here,
I was glad to help you on this. I really was.
appreciate it. Thank you so much, Mr. Michael.
You're quite welcome. I
So,
enjoyed it.
yeah. And, you know, this video will be very handy for the Chrysler Club. So everybody, thank you very much for watching the video today. If you have any questions or comments, be sure to leave it in the comments section below. And you can easily reach out to Mr. Michael if you have any questions about this repair. And hopefully you guys found this video beneficial. And we will see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching. Take care.